Countdown clock will resume on my mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
T-minus 9 minutes and counting.
TLS auto sequence has been initiated.
Ground launch sequencer now controlling. All functions between now and handoff to Columbia we can control by this ground launch sequencer computer here in the firing room. Over 1,000 parameters will be checked between now and T-minus 31 seconds when the handoff will occur to Columbia's onboard computers.
PLT, OTC, connect the central buses to fuel cells per your checklist. OTC, PLT, and work. OTC, PLT, our sections are connected to fuel cells. Copy.
Next major event will be retraction of the orbiter access arm from the crew access hatch.
TLS's go for orbiter access arm retract.
Columbia, OTC, good luck on your mission, allowing us to better glimpse our future by enhancing Hubble's view of the past.
It's orbiter test conductor Jeff Laufer wishing the crew well.
JRPS, OTC, start APU strip chart recorders. JRPS, recorders are running. PLT, OTC, perform APU pre-start. OTC, PLT, and work.
The first rays of light now appearing over the eastern horizon. And Hubble Space Telescope is approaching the west coast of Florida.
OTC, PLT, APU pre-start is complete, and as expected, we got our power pole talkback on system 2. OTC copy.
Auxiliary power units will be started at T-minus 5 minutes and 20 seconds.
TLS's go for orbiter APU start.
PLT, OTC, perform APU start. OTC, PLT, and work. CDR, OTC, reconfigure heaters. CDR, heater reconfig and work.
Firing chain now being activated.
Okay, complete.
Range safety system on the solid rocket boosters and external tank has been turned on.
OTC, OTC PLP, 3 good APUs in high green.
OTC copy.
T minus 4 minutes.
Go for per sequence 4.
We'll be checking the flight controls now on Columbia. And that will be followed by a steering check of the main engines. T minus 3 minutes and counting.
TLS go for ET LO2 pressurization.
PLT OTC, clear caution, warning memory, verify no unexpected errors.
OTC PLP in work.
Gaseous oxygen vent hood now being retracted.
OTC PLP, caution memory is cleared, no unexpected errors.
Copy, Columbia OTC, close and lock your visors, initiate O2 flow.
Okay, visors coming down, O2 coming on. To use a Navy term, let's launch it.
External tank now at flight pressure.
ET LH2 pressurization.
One minute, 30 seconds.
Sound suppression water system is armed. T minus 1 minute. Solid rocket booster field joint heaters now being turned off. Closing the fill and drain valves. External tank strut heaters now off. Standing by for the handoff to Columbia's onboard computers. The handoff has occurred.
Start.
Seconds.
Firing chain is on.
15 seconds.
T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff of Space Shuttle Columbia to broaden our view of the universe through the Hubble Space Telescope.
Houston now controlling the flight of Columbia, the Pioneer shuttle headed for the Hubble Space Telescope.
Program. Roger, roll, Columbia.
Columbia into the roll, placing the shuttle in a heads-down, wings-level position for the 8.5-minute ride to orbit. 25 seconds into the flight, Columbia's 3 liquid fuel main engines now throttling back in a 3-step fashion to 72% of rated performance, reducing the stress on the shuttle as it breaks through the sound barrier. Already 2 miles in altitude, 1.5 miles downrange, leaving an incandescent trail behind it. Columbia headed for Hubble, Hubble almost directly over the Cape at this moment. Three engines now throttling down, soon to throttle back up to 104% of rated performance. The main engines, along with the 3 fuel cells and 3 hydraulic power units, all functioning normally. Standing by.
Columbia, Houston, you are go at throttle up.
And Columbia copies, go at throttle up.
That throttle up call from Capcom Mark Polanski, acknowledged by Commander Scott Altman aboard Columbia. Altman joined on the flight deck by pilot Dwayne Carey, flight engineer Nancy Curry, and mission specialist John Grunsfeld, Rick Lenahan, Jim Newman, and Mike Massimino seated down on the middeck. Columbia tracking right down the pike, 15 miles in altitude, 11.5 miles downrange, heading due east from the Kennedy Space Center for an altitude of 350 statute miles in pursuit of Hubble. 1 minute, 45 seconds into the flight, about 15 seconds prior to solid rocket booster separation. Standing by for SRB separation. Booster officer confirms a good SRB separation. Guidance now converging. Columbia's onboard computers commanding the main engine nozzles to gently swivel.
Columbia, Houston, 2-engine Ben.
Houston, we copy, 2-engine Ben.
That call from Capcom Mark Polanski indicates that if one engine should fail right now, Columbia could make a transoceanic abort to Ben Guerir, Morocco. However, as it climbs into dawn, Columbia right on the money, aiming the shuttle for a precise keyhole in space for main engine cutoff. Columbia traveling 3,400 miles per hour, 42 miles in altitude, 61 miles downrange from the Cape. Now flying on the singular power of its 3 liquid fuel main engines, Columbia and its engines draining 1/2 ton of fuel per second from the shuttle's large external fuel tank. Three minutes, 10 seconds into the flight, all of Columbia's systems functioning normally, Columbia returning to orbit for the first time since July 1999. Now 52 miles in altitude, 100 miles downrange from the Cape, Columbia, all of its systems continuing to function normally. Three good main engines, 3 good auxiliary power units, 3 good power-producing fuel cells for the oldest shuttle in the fleet, almost 21 years since its first flight.
Columbia, Houston, press to ATO, select band Joule.
Houston, we copy, press to ATO, select and band Joule.
Columbia, Houston, negative return.
Houston, we copy, negative return.
Commander Scott Altman acknowledging that call from Capcom Mark Polanski, now 62 miles in altitude, 165 miles downrange. Columbia too far from the Kennedy Space Center to return to the launch site in the event of an engine failure. However, all of Columbia's systems continue to function perfectly at this moment. Columbia on course and on time to reach the Hubble Space Telescope early Sunday morning. 4.5 minutes into the flight, 64 miles in altitude, 205 miles downrange. The glimmer of Columbia's main engine still visible to spectators at the Kennedy Space Center. Columbia currently traveling at 6,500 miles per hour. At the time of main engine cutoff, around 8.5 minutes into the flight, Columbia will be traveling 5 times.
Houston, press to MECO.
Houston, we copy, press to MECO.
That call indicating that in the unlikely event of an engine failure, Columbia could make its normal main engine cutoff targets in orbit.
3.
We copy, Columbia, single engine ops 3.
At the time of main engine cutoff, around 3 minutes from now, Columbia will be traveling 25 times the speed of sound. 5.5 minutes into the flight, Columbia almost 70 miles in altitude, 315 miles downrange from the Cape.